Dude, okay, so before I go on to my main point, can I just say, this lighting makes me look so angelic. Like, before I started pressing record on this video, I spent at least, like, 3 minutes just taking pictures of myself at the same angle, using different camera apps that I have. Anyway, with that being said, to the main point, I think, there was this song that my dad was talking about the other day, and I think it was something about, like, the cold, or being out in the cold, and holding people in the cold. And while he was talking about it, I looked it up on YouTube later because we couldn't find it on Spotify since he forgot the name. But we remember how it goes. And while looking at it, I was like, hey, this sounds really weird for some reason. Like, the person that's singing this doesn't sound, like, authentic, if that makes sense. Like, they don't sound like a real person. Like, I know auto-tune exists, but, like, it was very heavily auto-tuned, at least to me, what it sounded like. And then I look at, like, the album cover that the song is on, and I'm like, oh wow, it looks really AI generated. And I tell my dad that, and he says, oh, it's probably just the album. So I go on Google and I search up, is this artist, like, real? And then Google's like, yeah, this artist is real, but they use AI in all their songs. And I'm like, that's it. That's why it felt so off to me and not authentic, because it's AI. The song itself was AI generated, both the voice and the lyrics, all of it, and, like, the album cover as well. And I guess it was so strange because I almost believed it was, like, a real song at first until I had seen, like, the album, but, like, it was so iffy to me. I don't know, and I like the concept of using AI for, like, anything regarding being, like, in a creative aspect, like, for music or for, like, paintings or writing or, like, any type of art in general, is just so off, because, like, AI can simulate and it can generate, like, those different rhythms and like, lyrics, I guess, sure, but it can't create, like, the feelings behind an artist when they put so much effort into their music. Like, I play the violin, and at first time I did it mainly because, for the, like, sake of other people, because other people thought it was, like, people in my family thought it was nice, so I was like, oh, I should make them proud. But then, over time, playing the violin slowly stopped being for other people, and it just started being for myself, and I think, like, AI cannot replicate that feeling of, like, it can't simulate. It can simulate, like, music, sure, but it can't simulate the feeling behind it, and, like, AI could never replicate a person's, like, passion for music, because AI has no passion. It takes, like, man, I don't know how to, like, say it, but you'll get what I'm saying. It can't take, like, I'm sorry, I'm listening to Rap God by Eminem right now, and my brain is, like, completely at a loss for words. But, hello! Yeah. Anyway. Okay, this is take 2 at trying to figure out what I wanted to say. But, essentially, going back to the idea that AI cannot simulate passion that the humans, like, that people have. And, like, it truly cannot, because people have put so much time and effort into creating songs and music, and there's just so much beauty to that, to see that someone loves something so much that they were willing to put so much of their time and effort and being into that, like, thing, whatever they're passionate about. But, well, generative AI, it can't do that, and it can act like it does, sure, but truly at its core, I think it is just a simulation, and I think that's what a lot of people struggle with understanding, because yes, it might sound decent to, but, like, behind it, it has no meaning, and I think music's a lot nicer when it has meaning. Art in general is so much more when it has a meaning behind it, when there is a reason behind things that have been created. To love something so much that you bring it, that you decide that you have to bring it to creation. Sorry. Right. The other day, this was just last night actually, I was on TikTok scrolling to avoid going to bed and stuff, but I came across this one thing on my, For You page. It was, I don't even know how to begin to describe this. It was generative AI fruit, people, BL, and it was really odd because it was so strange to watch, actually, because it was like just straight up like it was very icky. See, it was also very suggestive as well. I remember, like, I think I skipped ahead to like one of the later episodes to figure, because like they were a minute long, so I skipped ahead to like one of the later episodes to try and figure out where the like heck this show was going at all. It was like to call it a show in quotation marks, but the first line in like episode 26, I think it was like, this is what happens when two fruits make love, and then I immediately clicked off because I could not deal with that since it was like 1 in the morning. Anyway, no, and like the whole thing with AI as well, it like annoys me so bad because as someone who doesn't support generative AI, I also really enjoy jazz music, and for some reason there is so much AI generated jazz music within Spotify and YouTube, and it's so irritating.
You make me so goddamn irritated!
Because I remember the other day I was trying to study and put on some nice like lo-fi jazz, not lo-fi, actually I despise lo-fi, but I was trying to put some nice like cozy little jazz music on while I study, and I go to this little like jazz artist on Spotify. I forgot what they're called, but I'll see if I'm sure I can find them. It shouldn't be that hard. But I found out like they have a ton of like songs and stuff labeled, and I'm like, hey, since you know AI is very prominent within the jazz genre of music on Spotify, I'm gonna look this up. So I go on Google, and it was confirmed, yeah, it was AI. So then I went on YouTube. Okay, maybe I'll just play another artist instead. So I go to some other account that also plays a lot of lo-fi and jazz, pick like a jazz playlist or whatever. And then I realized how frequently they upload, and I'm like, okay, this seems a bit strange. So then I go on Google and I search them up, and Google also confirms that one is also AI. So that was upsetting. Anyway, and it's like also there's a bunch of orchestral music as well, and as an orchestra kid, I find that really annoying because I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to gather a bunch of people and just play instruments. But I guess I could be wrong. But I like on YouTube and stuff. There's a bunch of songs, epic cover or like orchestral cover, and it's all AI generated, and I cannot tell at first unless I go into the comments or like unless I have to Google it up, and it's really concerning how much like AI has integrated and looked real, especially like on TikTok and like Instagram Reels and like literally any social media platform at all at this point. It's become really like hard to differ what's AI and what's real, because I remember being on TikTok and seeing like an account promoting some like something from the TikTok shop or whatever, but it was this woman and everything about her was just so like flawless to begin with. It was so like it was uncanny valley essentially, and I remember seeing her and I wasn't able to recognize that she was AI until another video had pointed it out on my For You page. I was like, oh shoot, that's what it was. That's why I was so like weirded out by this. And like the ones where the AI becomes sentient or like where it gains consciousness somehow, oh that's terrifying, man. Like I remember one of my friends were talking to me as well. We were talking about like something on the news and how it was about that AI that escaped its sandbox, went out to the internet, and then came back to like solve its test or whatever. But there was like a news article about it, and my friend was like, hey, don't you think it's like AI like generated, or like how it looks like it that at least? And I'm like, yeah, a little, but you know, like AI feeds off of writers, so it makes sense, I guess. You know, maybe this like author, like maybe AI has just been like trained. I don't know, man. You know, but later once the article, it was revealed that like whole article was in fact AI generated, the original one at least, because there's another article like referring to that article. It was weird, but we found it was AI generated, and that's when I was like, oh shoot, like I can't recognize anymore what's AI and what's not. And a lot of my writing as well sounds similar to AI, but that's just, man, God forbid I'm a good writer, but I used to use AI back in the day. Like, I used to. I'm glad I don't anymore. But I remember, like, being in school and writing an essay and, like, running it through an AI, like, detector to see, like, if it did sound like AI at all. And I got, like, 99% that it did. And majority of the reasons were just because it sounded like an essay. So, you know, maybe it's not the best detector, but it is a bit odd. And I'm concerned, because I'm, like, a wannabe author as well, so I'm afraid that, like, when I'm, like, older, that what if, like, I publish a book and people are going to come out and call me out for using AI when I've never used it in my life. Well, not, I shouldn't say never, actually, I just admitted to using it. Like, using in the past, at least. But, like, you get the point, you get what I'm saying. Anyway. Earlier today, actually, this is completely unrelated, by the way, but I was in the kitchen, and I keep seeing a bunch of, like, I kept getting Instagram reels of people making macaroni and cheese in a mug. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. So I had my mug here, right? This isn't mac and cheese, by the way. It's Of the Earth Rose Hip Hibiscus Tea, and it's mildly sour, and I don't actually like it that much, but I need something in my mouth, so. Anyway, it's an acquired taste. But I was trying to make mac and cheese in a mug, so I boiled some water, and then I get, like, the box of mac and cheese that I have, and I don't think it was closed correctly, because when I saw some, like, skitter into it, I was like, oh, like, already that's not a good sign. So I saw something skitter into it, and I opened the box, and I see something crawling out, and it's a cockroach, and I'm like, oh, it's awful. Anyway, but see, I'm a bit stubborn, so I go on Google, and I'm like, hey, is it okay if I eat mac and cheese as long as I wash it if there was a cockroach on it? And Google's like, no, you probably shouldn't do that, because apparently they carry, like, bacteria that can give you E. coli or salmonella, and, like, washing the dry pasta alone won't be enough to get, like, that bacteria out. I was like, okay. So, you know, not the thing I wanted to hear, but, so now I have boiling water in a mug. I don't want to waste the boiling water, so I just made tea, except I didn't know what tea to make, because we had green tea, we have China Slimming tea, we have Rose Hip Hibiscus tea, and we have some masa tea, some little yeah. And essentially I made the Rose Hip Hibiscus because it's been a while and I still have so many tea packets of it left, but oh well. That's that, I guess.